What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. We are live here on Monday night, once again, a day after being removed from playoff contention. Our season is completely over, but we got a lot of work to do. Tonight, I just wanted to hang out, answer some questions, talk about a little bit about Tua's future, and go from there, man. So if you have any specific questions you'd like answered, drop them in the comment section. I'm hanging out in the comment section tonight, having this conversation, chatting with some of you guys, and letting the night do what it do, man. Well, what's up, everybody? I hope you had a great day. I like that shirt better than the other trash one. I get it, man. It hurt my feelings to wear it. Is this only Tua questions? No, it's all questions. All questions. All questions. Who you think we draft? I really do think that we draft Penei Sewell. If he falls to us, we will be drafting Penei Sewell. If he doesn't fall to us and the Jets take him, they will consider a quarterback. But, I mean, even me being honest, it's not the most likeliest option because they're going to give Tua every opportunity that they can. So they may be trading out of that spot potentially as well, moving down a few spaces and gathering more assets. That's what my thoughts are initially. All right. Next question from Envy. Is Tua good in your eyes? The eye test says that he's not. You know, that doesn't have anything to do with what he will be. But my eye test says that the kid doesn't have it on this level. But it's a small sample size. It's not even a full season. Hasn't had a training camp. Hasn't had an off season. I acknowledge all of those things. But as far as right now, if we were to grade just what we saw this season, the eye test says that he just doesn't have the it factor. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of things that go against him. I mean, he's a small guy. He's really small. I remember a pass yesterday that I couldn't help but feeling if he was a foot taller, it wouldn't have been batted down at the line of scrimmage. A crucial play that caused us the punt. I can't help but think, he doesn't have any type of head-on abilities as far as breaking a tackle, because once the defender has their hand on him, there's no getting out of that for Tua. So for me, physically short, isn't powerful, not fast at all. I don't know where that really came from that he was. He isn't a speedy guy and isn't a mobile threat. And outside of that, when you have a quarterback like that, there's only two things you can rely on: his brain and his arm. And, he was supposedly one of the most accurate quarterbacks coming out from the draft, and we didn't really get to see the accuracy outside of dinking and dunking. I mean, if you look at completion percentage, you'd be proud. Oh, yeah, I mean, he had a great completion percentage, but a lot of that was in short games. So eye test, he doesn't have it. But eyes have fooled me before. It's one of those things where time will tell. Tua just needs time. And next year, I think we put a whole season together, and then we'd be able to culminate, first season, second season, put them together. What do we see? What do we see from him? And that's going to give us our answer. If you think that this year gave us our final answer, you'd be wrong. But it at least gives you a picture of where he's starting from. And unfortunately, he has a long way to climb. And that's where I have him, all right? If you have any questions, make sure you put them in the comment section. I'm hanging out in the comment section. I'm going to try my best to answer as many as I can. Hey, TD, question. Do you think the Dolphins will trade Tua in the next 5 years if he kept – oh, excuse me, it went fast. If he kept getting benched? Of course, if you keep getting benched, you're going to eventually get traded or cut. The thing y'all have to understand is his contract is fully guaranteed. We're not in a rush. He can go through next year and look the same and get benched by whoever. They still have no incentive to move on right away. What, you're going to trade a fifth? Who's going to take that kind of salary for a 5th, 6th, 7th round pick? No one. So either his stock is going to be high enough where you trade him, and if it's high enough where you can trade him, that means you still should be believing in him. So if you're still believing in him, you're going to give him the fair opportunity. 3 years minimum, ladies and gentlemen. 3 years minimum. I know I'm a little jump the gun type person. Go ahead and bring the replacement in now just in case. But the truth is, you can wait till next year to bring the replacement in. We're either going to sink or swim with Tua next year. And the only frustrating part about that is if we do have the roster that's ready to compete for a Super Bowl, which next year, honestly, guys, we should. If he's not the guy, it's going to set that back. But the thing that's in place right now that can set us up for even more failure is that next year there's going to be a lot of allowed excuses if he struggles. Excuse number one, well, this is his first real season after having a camp. Give him time to get it. Number two, well, look at the weapons he has. They're new. They have to build chemistry. Number three, this O-line, half of it is new. We have to build chemistry there as well. So there's going to always this year, obviously, it's easy to pick any reason you want for why we failed because there's so many reasons it could have been. Next year, you're still going to have fresh reasons why he may have struggled. Hopefully, we have zero and he balls out. That's also an option. I don't want y'all to ever pass that. I know a lot of us are a little down right now with the performance, but never pass on, the fact that he can turn the corner and become really, really good. I'm not crazy. I call it how it is. That's a possibility. But if I'm going to be honest with you all, he doesn't look like he have it right now, but it doesn't mean that he won't. So that's my assessment. Again, if you have any questions, post them in the comment section. I want to answer as many as I possibly can. And I'll also, as far as earlier with the news that Changeli had gotten fired, it is confirmed that was false. That was false news. That's why I put in the title of the video, Changeli, breaking news, Changeli fired, reportedly fired. So I made sure that I put reportedly because I hadn't heard from the team myself yet, but ESPN had said it, so I put reportedly, okay? I know some people got in their feelings in the comment section and never even watched the video when I said that like 50 times, and they decided they wanted to bash me in the comment section. But I can guarantee you they didn't go to ESPN and bash them for getting it wrong in the first place. All right. Any other questions, make sure you put them in the comment section. I want to answer your questions tonight. Why did you call Tua a bum yesterday? Because I was upset, Billy. I was mad. He didn't play up to, like, sometimes I feel like your quarterback has to elevate your team. He didn't do that regardless of the team around him. I expected a little more in that game from Tua, even if the rest of the team didn't perform well. He's not a bum. I got in my feelings, and I was mad, and he was a bum at the moment. And that's just how I am as a fan of the Miami Dolphins. There's times I'm giving you commentary straight up, and there's times you can see my fandom. And that was a moment of it where I was mad at everybody, okay? Because it hurt, man. I really thought that this year this team could do something very special in the playoffs. And I don't want to take anything from the accomplishments from the team this year. They exceeded expectations. They already did something special. But when you tease us that much, you want more. Because we've been in the last 20 years, if we had a 10-win season, next thing you know, we come back and we're 6-10 next year, and everybody's scratching their head like, what the heck? What is going on? That's what it is. So, I don't take any season for granted. I don't care if we don't have the roster that's ready to compete yet. I don't take any season for granted. Any season. I want it every season. All right. So yeah, I just went off yesterday. I do that here and there. You either like it, love it, or hate it, but I'm gonna be me. All right. TD, what do you think of Mahomes? Do you think he is just surrounded by pure talent, or is he elite? Neil, I don't know yet. Trust me, 99% of football fans are going to call him elite right now. Now, in about a year from now, when that money starts kicking in and they can't afford all that talent, if he goes down to being a 9-7 or 10-6 or 11-5 team and, getting bounced in the first and second round every year, and you can see his struggles at time because the O-line may not protect better or the or the weapons aren't as great, then you can start to make that assessment. Or if everything isn't as great and he's still performing at such a high level, then you can start saying that he's elite. But it is really, to me, it's unrealistic to call anyone elite until you see him in both situations. There's only one quarterback in history that I know that was fortunate enough to never be in both situations. And that's only because they decided to take a constant pay cut, and that was Tom Brady. He said it himself, I prefer a competitive advantage of having better talents around me. That's why I'm not the highest paid quarterback. And until you see Patrick Mahomes off of his rookie deal, I'm talking about the year that the $50 million cap actually hits. See, people think that was this year. No, he just signed the extension this year. If you go look at his cap hit, it ain't even close to 50 yet. But once it gets to 50, the official cap hit, that first season, however he does, for me, determines who he is as a quarterback. Lamar Jackson, MVP seasons, type season numbers every year. How is he going to look when everything isn't around him? He already can't get out of first round, so that's already a knock. Now, Deshaun Watson got a little bit of respect for me this year. He didn't have as much around him. They lost a lot, but he still performed at a high level. Still performed at a very high level. Now, when I say not a lot around him, a lot of instability on defense and offense, but he still had weapons, to be honest. But at the same token, nobody's allowed to have the elite tag until they're off of their rookie year, at least 1 or 2 years in, where the cap is actually hitting the team. That's it for me. That's why Josh Allen, he is playing phenomenal football. Josh Allen is playing phenomenal football, ladies and gentlemen. But why would I say he's elite when he didn't have all the talent around him? He looked like trash. And in the biggest games where great defenses even out that talent he has, he doesn't look the greatest. So that's how I gauge quarterbacks, y'all. That's it. That's how I gauge him. All right. Tua Tagovailoa. He ain't got the best talent around him. He's struggling. But having the best talent around him, he may look great. But that takes a knock on him ever having that status of elite. So that's how I look at it. That's my gauge on quarterbacks calling someone elite or not. All right. If you have questions, put them in the comment section. I want to answer them as many as I can tonight, so that I can because a lot of y'all be having questions that I can't get to because so many people be donating and I be reading those. So this is the night. All right. TD, what I missed? Great question. Nothing. We're just answering questions. All right. Man, somebody said Pat White is elite. Hey, man, everybody has their own opinions when it comes to football. All right. Tua is going to be a great quarterback. You'll see it next year. It went too fast. Let me see if I can back up and see what it said. He needs receivers that can catch and running backs that can run. All right. Maybe. Time will tell. Time always tells us. All right. Hey, TD, question. What do we do with Wilson and Hearns? Well, Wilson is going to be on the team next year because by opting out of COVID, from my understanding, he guaranteed his contract next year. And that's about $10 million. So that's what we're doing with Wilson, playing him next year. All right. Probably starting. Don't forget about that either, ladies and gentlemen. That's why when everybody keeps saying things like, oh, we need more weapons, X, Y, and Z, there's a great chance that we do go get another weapon or two. But don't forget, they signed Parker on a big deal. He's going to be your starting wide receiver next year. Albert Wilson will be back. He will be a starting receiver, probably in the slot. And the third spot is really the question at hand. Will it be Preston Williams? Will it be one of the other guys? Some of these other young guys that they invested in, are they continuing to develop them? People think that we're going crazy with weapons in this offseason. I believe we'll get someone, but I don't know if we're going to get the multitude that people really think. So we'll see. TD, are you rooting for the Titans? Yes, I am. Because I need them to make sure that they don't allow the Buffalo Bills to go to the Super Bowl. I'm rooting for everybody except Buffalo. Not really, but I am a fan of Ryan Tannehill. All right, just like I will follow Ryan Tannehill wherever he go because I was invested in his career. I knew without a shadow of a doubt he was a good quarterback in the right situation. He proved that, and I enjoy watching him. I enjoy watching him throw those beautiful, pretty bullet passes all over the field for Tennessee. Touchdowns. I enjoy him faking the RPO, running in for touchdowns with the finger roll. I enjoy it. Okay. So yes, I'm rooting for Tennessee, except next year when we play them. Yes, we'll talk about the schedule tomorrow, but we got to play Tennessee next year, and we're on the road. Tough. All right. Hey TD, who is your number one running back this draft? Oh, see, y'all keep on asking me about who the number one running back is. Either of those two top guys. Who's your number one running back in this draft? Let me know in the comment section. Put it in the comment section right now. Who are your top two running backs? Let me know in the comment section. Harris. Etienne. He don't know. Harris. Najee Harris. Listen, when it comes to Najee Harris, I'm just like, when it comes to Alabama guys, I think we get all caught up, but he does have an excellent talent. I'm more interested in Alabama's receiver than Najee Harris, but I would love to have a Najee Harris. I would love that. Yeah, I mean, I would be good with that. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, when we say favorite running back, here's how I look at it. We're not drafting one at number 3, in my opinion. You know, some people may have that opinion. We're not drafting one at number 3. I don't care which one of the top 3. I'll take any one of those guys. Would you be mad with any of the 3? Would you be mad with any of them? That's what it's about. That's what it's about. I don't think anybody would be mad with any of the 3. Yeah, we may have a preference. Yeah, of course. But we wouldn't be, if the guy that you would take over everybody else was gone off the board and then your pick came, you would still have good options. So I'm good, man. TD isn't a Heat fan. Yeah, I'm not a Heat fan, but I'm also not a Heat hater. You know, I don't have anything against the Miami Heat. All right. TD, what about Gaskins and Ahmed? Those two guys will be in camp competing and with a great chance to make the roster. A great chance to start. I mean, we could bring Najee Harris in and one of those other guys can still start. Have we not learned the biggest lesson of all under this regime? Best player plays. Maybe not 100% with the quarterback situation, but everything else, best player plays. You know what I'm saying? I'm buying your merch. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for supporting me. Rock it for me, man. TD, who will win Super Bowl this year, man? I'm going to actually do a video this week doing the predictions for the playoffs. So I honestly don't want to give it away. Please forgive me, man. Please forgive me. Miami draft order, TD. The draft order, we're number 3. We're number 18. We're number 35. And 50 or 52, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. That's what we are, from my understanding. So all the way up to 35 is important. Okay. TD, do you think it's possible for Tua to need weapons since hold on. It went by too fast. TD, do you think it's possible for Tua to need weapons now since it's early in his career, but not later? Oh, he's going to always need weapons. Or I see what you're saying. The better he becomes, the less reliant on talent around him he'll need. That's ideal, but that's something you can't gauge. You have to gauge that on a year-by-year basis. A year-by-year basis. So, yeah, you definitely have to gauge that on a year-by-year basis, man. But great question. I like your thought process there. The more years he's in, the less talent he'll need. I say while he's on his rookie contract and you can afford it, load him up. Once he gets comfortable, cocky, and just confident, you can, we'll take a blow. We can't afford this guy or that guy. You've gotten better. Pick up the slack for us. That's ideal. So first we need to see how he actually looks with weapons. Then we can have that conversation. All right. You're my favorite YouTuber, TD. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. There's a lot of other great YouTubers, though, man. I have some of my own favorites, man. So make sure you listen. Dudley Durong, K-Flex, and all those guys out there. Go check them out, man. And I told y'all about Dolphins United, man. He's doing big things, too. So make sure you check him out. All right. Before you say TD is your favorite, you might fall in love with one of those guys. Who knows? I don't know. All right. TD, do me a favor and look at Javonte Williams. I'm looking for my pen. Oh, there we go. All right, film. All right, appreciate you, bro. Do we still have the third pick? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Answer me, TD. Answer me. Okay. Hey, I answered you, I guess. Would you trade Tua with the third pick? Oh man, it went so fast. Let me go back to that. Would you trade Tua with the third pick in a trade? Y'all already know my stance on that. I'll trade anybody for the right price. I don't care. Any player on this team right now, I will trade them for the right price. So, but trading Tua, listen, first of all, in order for us to trade Tua, we would have to be ready to target somebody that we know is going to be the guy. Everybody else is questionable. Let's be honest here, ladies and gentlemen. Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, they're all questionable. Yeah, we see the great talent in college, but we could bring them in tomorrow and they could look 10 times worse. You never know. You never know. So first off, you would have to bring him in for somebody that you feel like so compelled to get, and you still want to profit off of the deal, not just a straight up first. So it's not likely y'all to trade Tua whatsoever. It just doesn't make any financial nor sense right now, logical sense. He's still early in his career and he still has upside and might turn out to be much greater. So time will tell. Like next year, it's going to like literally lock in a lot for us. Like Tua ain't got to be Brady next year either. All you got to do is see improvement next year. You got to see, the shots being taken with the big throws and make you feel at times on a consistent string, right? Of man, this guy actually, I see the improvement. I still see areas where, he can do a little better, but I definitely can see where his hand it doesn't need to be held right now. That's all I'm asking for him next year. That still might come with some criticism here and there. But I'm a believer in as long as you making progress, that's all that matters to me. Because if we're already locked in and we're already committed, it is what it is. I'm just one of those people that want insurance, though. People get mad at me for just wanting insurance. Just in case next year we feel like, oh, let's just give up. I don't know. So that's just who I am, man. How do you donate? You can either go to the link in the description of the video, which is PayPal or Cash App, or you can go through the super chat right below in the comment section. You should see it. It has a dollar symbol on it. If that ain't working for you, you can definitely go to PayPal or Cash App. They don't rob me like YouTube does, but that's neither here nor there. TD, trade for Watson. That is the last thing I would do, ladies and gentlemen. Trade for Watson. Like, let me help some of y'all make some sense of it. If we had an opportunity straight up to trade Tua for Watson now, and we ain't got to give up no other assets, because you're definitely gonna have to give up Tua and still maybe have to give up a first or two if you wanted to do that. But I'll even go far enough to say, what if the Texans said, let's just make a straight up swap? I still wouldn't want to do it. Why? How much is Watson making a year? If we picked up Watson's salary right now, we ain't even got enough to draft our players. We don't even have enough to draft our players. You're going to go from $8 million a year to 43. $35 million just ate up all your free money for next year. So this is the same team you're going to have with no weapons. And you might have to actually make a few cuts so that you can draft some guys. So y'all got to understand that. I would much rather keep Tua than trading for Watson right now. Watson, yeah, but Watson is elite. But again, I need to see Watson consistently with this offense. I mean, Watson would have compromised, made more plays because of his mobility. Don't get me wrong. But this is not a sustainable thing, because Watson coming in for $43 million a year. Do you know how many guys over the last 4 years that we're going to have to actually give them new contracts? Have we forgotten next year will be Christian Wilkins? What? How many years is that going to give Christian Wilkins, ladies and gentlemen? There are other guys on this roster that got to be paid. Do you want to keep Emmanuel Ogbah? Because I'm sure his agent is in the office next year saying we want to renegotiate because his contract next year ain't guaranteed, y'all. Do you want to keep him? Oh, and we still forgot about the fact that Xavier Howard might be the defensive player of the year, and he don't want to play for that little $15 million no more. There's a lot of things that have to happen, y'all. So bringing in Watson would be a nightmare. You know why? Because you're going to lose some of the beloved players that you have. Listen, if we brought in Watson, y'all can disagree with me all you want, but I'm telling y'all, the chance of Xavier Howard getting traded goes through the roof. You clearing up cap because he's gonna want more. You can take that $20 million. You can pay 3 first-round picks with that. Come on, man. You could pay 3 first-round picks. You could pay number 18. You could pay number 3, and whoever you trade them with, they first-round pick. You could pay all 3 of them with his salary. So no, I don't want Watson. Shout out to Richard Bergen with the donation to the PayPal. I just got the notification. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the love, man. Let me see if you left a message, by the way, or a question. I want to make sure I answer it for you just in case. Give me a hot second. All right. No message. You're just showing love. I appreciate you, homie. TD, Herbert, or Tua? I mean, of course, if I had to pick now, anybody with sensible logic would say Herbert. But, these guys going to have a long career, man. We got to let time fly. Let time go by, and that could change, Herbert having the year that he did is a beautiful thing. But, I've seen guys have great years their first year and look like trash the second. I've seen guys look like trash the first, look great the second. So, Time is gonna tell, man. What's your Cash App? $ TDPHINSTALK, if I'm not mistaken. If you're new to Cash App, though, go ahead, grab that free $5 by following the link that I put in the comment section. In the description section. If you don't have a Cash App, get the free $5 by signing up with the link that I have in the description section. Go and get that free money. It also sends me $5 if you do it too. So you ain't even got to donate. Just sign up and you get 5, I get 5. I think that's how it works, at least. Tua going to change next season. We all hope so. We all definitely hope so. TD, would you get Cam Newton for insurance for Tua? Listen, I'm bringing in Newton for a workout. This ain't even, and not to sign him. I'm bringing him in for a workout. I'm bringing Haskins in for a workout. Any bum in this league, I'm bringing in for a workout. And not bum. See, there I go calling people bums. Y'all know what I mean. I ain't mean hard bum, but soft bum. Like you ain't leading the franchise and the team you was with don't like you that much no more. Okay. Sorry, I be letting some things just fly off my mouth. But I'm bringing a lot of quarterbacks in. It's not that I'm bringing them in to replace Tua. Guys, the job of the scouting team and the coaches are to look at every piece of talent they can, whenever they can, however they can. And if they see something that they like, that they could work with, that everybody else pass off, everybody takes a chunk, wants a bite at turning something into something great because they see the intangibles. Flores is the type of guy, he look at you, you got good hands, you got good eyes, you got good feet, you're a leader, you're vocal. You're a hard worker. You're doing it all the right way. You got good habits. You got a good attitude. You're a great person. Man, I could work with you. I could turn. See, real coaches can feel like they could turn anything into something great. Real coaches feel that way. So if they find somebody that check all their boxes, they're gonna consider it. They're gonna bring them in. We should grab Mariota. Maybe, but how much Mariota gonna accept? How much is he gonna accept? And I don't know about grabbing Mariota because Mariota wants his shot again. He wants to not be a backup. He wants to, let me ask y'all something. How convinced are y'all that the Raiders are sold on Derek Carr? See, that's the type of team right there where Derek Carr is doable, but that's the type of team you got to worry about, a team like the Raiders giving up everything and trading Derek Carr somewhere and moving up in the draft. That's the type of team that'll do something like that. So I don't know, man. TD, should we trade X and go get Patrick Surtain? If you want my honest answer, keep X if you can and still go try to get Patrick Surtain. The goal ain't just to let somebody go and then bring in their replacement. The goal is to keep somebody on your roster and bring in their replacement. Let them play behind or under that guy for a whole year and then let them start getting sprinkled in reps. And then we can move on. Let's go ahead and get this big old asset for X, and now we moving on because we see it in practice and we see it where this guy can, or I can trade X in the middle of the season because this guy, Patrick Surtain Jr., lived up to it. Or Patrick Surtain Jr. struggles and looks like Noah his rookie season. Is a good thing we kept X, and then we're going to hopefully keep developing him. See, that's all I'm saying. Imagine us trading X last year and bringing in Noah. How would we feel? We'd be like, see, man, I can't believe they traded X. Have your contingency plan already on the roster. Do y'all know that is the Patriots way? That's what they did every year. They got a left tackle on his 4th year, poised to make $18 million a year. But the year before, they drafted another left tackle that literally sat the full year or played a little bit of guard, and they just waiting on next season. Hey, we won a Super Bowl. We want to thank you for your service. You already knew we weren't paying you bigger money, but what we do is make you great and get everything we can out of you, and then we let you go make your big money. Thank you for your services. You trained your replacement well. And if the replacement didn't work out, build them use a franchise tag or something until they find a replacement. But they're not going to commit long term on a big deal with no one like that, like certain positions. That's how you do it, man. What else we got? Go out and try to get Robinson, Galladay, or Fuller as weapons for Tua. What do you think, TD? I want us to get one wide receiver, legitimate weapon, free agent. And I want us to draft one wide receiver, not in the first round, maybe the late second round pick or early third. Because what y'all got to realize is there's a lot of receivers that have great value in the second and third round. Some of these first round guys, yeah, they fast and they separation, great routes and stuff. But there's some really good guys in the second and third round too. It's just the position that I feel like you can still get a stud in the second or third round. Same thing with running back for me. You can get a really good player in the second or third round. I truly believe it. So you get you one really, really, really top receiver in the NFL in free agency, grab you another one late in the second round, get you a running back second round or third. And because I don't want to touch a running back in free agency, honestly. Stay young. We'll figure that out. And early in the first round, go ahead and keep playing with these trenches. And if you feel like you need a new quarterback to back up Tua or compete with him, you use that first, second round pick on it. Or maybe even the second first rounder. Now, this is all if Penei Sewell is there at 3. We got to go get him. We got to go get him. Got to go get him. Because to be honest with you, where do we get the number 3 pick from anyway? Houston. What did Houston get from us? Our left tackle. I know we got Austin Jackson, but I think he'll be fine on the right side. And that'll show you for Laramie Tunsil, we would have gotten Penei Sewell, Austin Jackson, Noah Igbenogany, and whoever we get this year in the second round, pick number 35. So let me ask y'all a question. Who won the trade? Who won the trade? Laramie Tunsil or Penei Sewell, Austin Jackson? What was the other one? In this year's second rounder. Us by far. That's how you flip players. And that's why I say, don't ever think that Greer is 1,000%. I mean, not Greer, but don't ever think that Xavier Howard is just a shoe-in going to be here. You never know, y'all. And guess what? We were able to get all those players. Laramie Tunsil going into his big money deal, $22 million a year. Every single player that I named pretty much totaled that amount as well. 4 players for the price of 1. All at the same salary cap that he's costing right now. And at least 2 of them are going to be starters. Good ones. That's how you win this game. That's how you overachieve. That's how you exceed expectations. Javier said, check my earlier comment, big bro. Dang, why you ain't just put the comment in the actual donation? It would okay, for the record, ladies and gentlemen, I read 99.9% of all donations, so I don't miss it. So it's tough if you send a donation that says check my earlier comment. Next time, put the actual earlier comment in your donation, and bam, done. All right, because I'm looking, and it's remember, I can't go but so far back in the chat. By the way. It stops me at some point, and I don't see your name, and I'm still strolling. But I'll look out for you, Javier. I'll look out for you, Javier. There you go. Javier said too much to write. LOL. Okay. Well, you can go to the old one and copy it. Double click on it, copy it, and then paste it. Whatever. I don't know. Your tech situation. I don't know what it is. So never mind. But I'm sorry, but it's gone though. So I would have to see it fresh again for me to go back. Usually I can go back and catch it, but the chat is going pretty fast tonight. A lot of people's writing some things. Again, put your comments in the comment section, your questions. I want to answer them best I can. Hanging out tonight, trying to answer questions. We have 353 people watching. Matt with the donation said, are you fine passing on Jamar Chase? Over who? Like, are you saying at number 3? I don't know. Like, where on the draft board are you saying? That would make a huge difference. That would make a huge difference. Because from my understanding, Chase should be projected somewhere around 6. Listen, yes, I'm passing on him if Penei Sewell is there. Want to make sure we get that straight now. I am definitely passing on him if Penei Sewell is there. Like, I know I mean my opinion ain't the end all be, but I promise y'all, I encourage everybody. Everybody should be on board with Penei Sewell at number 3 if he is sitting there available. And also, you do realize that every single team in the league, if he is on the board, they would take him except for Jacksonville. The Jets are probably debating. Like, they probably don't even love Darnold, but may actually be willing to deal with him for just to get Sewell. Or they're like, oh, man, it's Penei right there, but let's get our quarterback. They're not going to be 1,000% ecstatic that they got Fields and Sewell was there. They're in a little dilemma. There ain't a team. I don't care if you got the best left tackle in the league right now. There ain't a team that if they could draft him, if they were in position, would not be saying, we got to go. We got to pull the trigger. Yeah, it's a log jam at the position now, but hey, that kids, come on, man. Let's get Allen Robinson in free agency. Javier said trade X for a first and a second, draft Sewell with our 3rd pick, draft the wide receiver Chase and draft the running back in 2nd round. That's all good, but I ain't heard your replacement for X yet. Everything you just said was all good, but 2 things. Number 1, I ain't heard your replacement for X in that scenario. Number 2, I'm not trading X for a first and a second. I need a Laramie Tunsil type deal. My guy is defensive player of the year. And if I don't get a Laramie Tunsil type deal, then give me 2 firsts in 1 second instead of 2 firsts in 2 seconds. But outside of that, I'll go ahead. I'm hanging with my guy. I'm hanging with my guy. So I'm good with bringing all them weapons in, but what good? See, that's the whole theory again. What good is creating an offense that scores 30 points a game, but being left with a defense that gives up 32 points a game? What good is that? What good is that? Javier said, you think we're going to pay X that kind of money? No, but again, I could see a scenario where we do. There are scenarios where you have to bite the bullet. Because remember, they still have a window as long as Tua ain't on. See, they still got like a 3-year window to spend a little excessively in certain positions. Right now, they still have a 3-year window to do that. And if they had to restructure now, they would pay him that kind of money, but only guarantee it up for like 2 more years or something, or 3, 2.5, really. So, yeah, I wouldn't like it. I'm going to tell you now, I wouldn't like giving him $22 million a year. I wouldn't like it. Because here's the thing, y'all. Like, I know I always get labeled a hater for this, but I'm just one of those guys who look at football history, and here's what it tells me. Football history tells you that you're supposed to bet against Xavier Howard going forward every single year. Now, as he continues to prove you wrong, that's all good. That's all good, and we love that. But history tells you bet against it. You bet against that. $22 million a year, he would need to like literally play like the defensive player of the year for the next 3-4 years to be worth $22 million a year. He would literally have to be paying. He has to. TD, what will you do if X asks for $30 million? The man ain't finna ask for no 30. That's just ridiculous. Now, if he did, man, listen, man. I'm finna say something mean. I'll just hold my thoughts. He ain't finna ask for $30 million. He ain't asking for $30 million, all right? If he asks for $30 million and ain't no more dead cap, like he make me so mad, he make me hurt my own team. I cut him and not even trade him. No, I'm trading him, but y'all get my point. What about 23 million? Listen, 22 is already too much for me. I just told y'all there is a scenario where they actually do it because of the money situation of the franchise. We're not bleeding right now. But it's just something I wouldn't do. I would not go above 18 million, and I would feel a little eerie about that, but I would not go past 18 million on a restructure. I wouldn't. Like I said, I would still be eerie over that. But defensive player of the year, he earned his due. I mean, this is where you say you pay the guy, but still, there is a limit to pay the guy. Trade Tua to the Cowboys. Listen, they got 2 first-round picks. They got 2 first-round picks. I told y'all, everything open for business. Everything for sale. Everything for sale. You want something off this wall? Pick one. You let me know the price you offer. Let me make sure it add up for me, and then I'll have it right to you. Everything for sale. Everything can go. Everything, it ain't a must go, but everything can go for the right price. For the right price. Hey TD, should we go with Penei Sewell tackle at 3rd? You must have just came in, Juan. Absolutely. No question. That ain't it. Listen, 1,000% Penei Sewell would be my pick if he's available. All right. TD, I think you and Ball Game make a very good team. Yeah, man, that's the homie, man. We have great conversations together. Great conversations. You know, he levels my head sometimes and get me, and I try to get him, but Ball Game makes everything make sense. And I just, Ball Game calm my emotions down, man. That's the homie though. But yeah, I mean, but you gotta understand, Ball Game was on the show all the time, last year and the year before, all the time. I just kind of slowed down on the group streams and stuff, just to make sure I keep down on, unnecessary stuff. Not with Ball Game, but just in general. TD, did you see what Master at Works did on his channel? Yes, man. Listen, man, I'm taking it all. He trolled me. He make them videos and everything. Dan even did some stuff, man. But hey, I talk mad stuff, man. This is what happens when you talk big stuff and the team don't live up to it. But that's it's the fun of the game. I love it. Now they get to gloat about, oh, I told you so. That's the part of the game. It's real fun. I love it for them. I love it for us because we're gonna come back bigger, better, stronger, and beat they behind next year. And we still gonna root for them to lose this year so we can pick on them. Okay, as long as they don't win the Super Bowl. All right, that way we can pick on them. But yeah, Missed the comment. I think we offer Fitz a QB coach position. I don't think Fitz is done playing. I think Fitz can get a job as a backup on multiple teams. And even a potential guy that can compete for a starting spot for a team that's bringing in a young rookie. Like Fitz, like literally, Fitz can go be a play. Fitz still wants to play. First of all, he loves the game. And until, like he said a million times, until his family, he talks to his family and they're, saying, hey, let's just bring it home. Until that happens, he's going to be playing. So you also have to understand Fitz want to play. Fitz's heart was broken this year. Like real talk, his heart was broken. Fitz literally believed deep down inside that he's about to make history and have one of the best years of his career. Fitz believed behind this defense. Fitz believed he could win the Super Bowl this year. I'm telling y'all, I know Fitz in the back of his head with this defense, man, they can bet like Fitz in his mind. If I throw 3 picks, this defense makes up for it. So I'm a gunsling the heck out of this ball, and we might do something special because that's what he never had. Fitz will go put up 5 touchdowns but have 4 interceptions. If he ever had a defense that can neutralize at least 2 of them picks, oh, he would have been in the playoffs every year throwing that rock. I'm telling y'all, that's what Fitz believed. In his mind, he truly believed, man, this defense makes like think about all the turnovers that we had that we didn't capitalize on. And this ain't about Tua, so don't get all mad. But when Tua was playing football, think about how many interceptions, fumbles, and all of that stuff that we had that we end up punting on anyway. Oh, not Fitz. Oh, you going to get 4 turnovers today? I'm going to turn at least 2 to 3 of them into touchdowns. That's going to wipe out the 2 to 3 picks I'm going to throw. And then the rest of my plus is just going to be my plus. Oh, Fitz was ready. Fitz had it figured out in his head. It didn't start like that because the defense wasn't playing like that at first. Think about it. Think about the games Fitz threw them 2 and 3 picks early in the season. We only lost by like 2 or 3 points. Do y'all remember that? Some of them games we only lost by like 3 points. Games where he threw 3 picks. And the defense wasn't even playing great. Man, imagine if our defense in the first 5 games was playing like they were in the last 11. And everybody knows it ain't no question we'd be in the playoffs. Seattle wouldn't have beat us. The Patriots, listen, Buffalo probably wouldn't have beat us in that first game, y'all. It was 31-28. If the defense just played like they did in like the last 11, or let me say the last 10, because the last game they just gave up on. The defense gave up. But if they would have played like that early in the season, had Byron not got hurt, I'm telling y'all now, man, we definitely be in the playoffs. Y'all forgetting we started 0-3. 0-3. Who are those first 3 losses? Buffalo, New England. Who was the third one, though? I don't remember. Was it Seattle? It was Seattle, yeah. Everybody know we shouldn't have lost to Seattle. We shouldn't have lost to Seattle. Buffalo beat us by 3 points early in the season, and our defense did nothing. Fitz actually in that game threw 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Do y'all know that? The first Buffalo game, he threw over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. The defense was the problem in the first few games. It was the Patriots game where he threw picks. The first game of the season. He was throwing those picks, but the defense was still trash. Cam Newton and the offense was running all over us. We didn't know what to do. We couldn't stop a nosebleed. They were going down the field at will on us. And we still kind of, to be fair, we still held them to a low score. And don't get me started on the Seattle game, man. That should have been ours. Even though they put up big points, the offense was keeping up with them. But our defense, once again, did nothing. And then our defense started showing a little life when they played the Jacksonville Jaguars and beat up on them. Yeah, it's an easy opponent, but the defense came to life. Byron comes back and we demolish the Jets or whoever it was. Then we got to go out west or whatever. And we literally, that's when everybody know, oh my gosh, we killed San Francisco. Rams. I mean, you start naming them. This defense was on fire. But they didn't have that early in the season. We had offense early in the season, no defense. Later in the season, we had defense and no offense. Did y'all see that flip-flop? So this is why I can't help but believe there's only one factor that changed in it all. Two players, actually. For the defense, when Byron came back, it was a different story. And on offense, when we went with Tua, the offense became stagnant. We scored a lot less points per game. And I'm not talking about Tua right now. I'm not knocking Tua right now. I'm just stating facts, okay? This ain't about him. So we got Byron back. The defense just went crazy, did really good. And then we made the quarterback switch and our offense looked like we couldn't get a first down. And we were fooled by that Arizona game, man. We saw greatness. I saw greatness. I saw a good game by Tua. Now, if you look at the defense, they were playing a lot of cushion, not sending the pressure as often, and it gave him a comfortable game, but nobody really knew what to expect from him, so they were figuring it out. But other teams started to figure it out. Preston got hurt. That's a good point, too. Preston got hurt. Everybody got hurt. You're right. There was a lot of injuries. But, you know, even with the injuries, I really felt like this team could have managed them regardless. I still feel like we had the necessary personnel to manage it. Preston is Mr. Glass. He's done. Well, wait, I'll do the video tomorrow, man, because I really think that your boy done too. Jakeem Grant is done. I think Jakeem Grant's time has come to an end, especially with them having Albert Wilson coming back and the draft and free agency. I think that's it for Grant because I think the time has come where it just didn't pan out, ladies and gentlemen. We love us some Grant. We have always, but you know, he's been one of those guys don't get mad at me for a comparison, but I mean, it's no different from guys like Devon Bess, you know, Camarillo and all of those different little guys, you know. He was better than all of them, but at the same token, you never eclipsed. You never got over the hump. You never got over the hump. I mean, how much time does he need to get over the hump? He never really got over the hump. Somebody said Grant was a big part of special teams. I agree, but you got to be healthy. We had Noah Monogamy back there. Looked like he was returning more than Grant this year. Jason with the donation said all season they pulled Tua in big moments. He never got to learn to step up. Then when it was his time, the moment was too big for him. Concerning. That's true. That's true. But they did give him chances. Let me talk through that. The Patriots game, the last Patriots game, he didn't have a great game in the first three quarters, and he showed up in the fourth quarter. I gave him a lot of credit after that game. I liked what he did, but the only thing that bothers me, it was one quarter of football that was impressive. But that Patriots game, they left him in there, let him figure it out. Fitz was available, and he figured it out. But we were up. We were still up. It wasn't really like the comeback. We were up, so they felt comfortable. But this coaching staff has zero confidence if we're down that Tua can get it done. Let me tell you why he remained in the game in the Arizona game. Because when we went down by 10, that first drive in the fourth quarter, he responded. I am here to tell you right now, had he not responded in the first drive of that fourth quarter, Fitz would have finished the Arizona game. If you notice, it's a common trend. They give him the first drive of the first quarter every single time, and however that goes determines whether or not he stays in the game. When his first drive was a whole nother 3 and out when we needed it the most, they stopped taking chances because I think they learned their lesson in the Denver game. In the Denver game, they said Fitz would have won this game, but he came one possession too short. Fitz had one possession too short. So we're not going to insert him with like 6 minutes or anything like that left anymore. Give Tua that one shot in the fourth, and if it don't work, we got to give Fitz at a minimum 3 possessions. 3 possessions at a minimum to finish this out, depending on the score. So I think they always gauge the score. To be quite honest with you, the Raiders game when they pulled him, the only reason they didn't pull him sooner, because it could have happened, is the fact that we were only down by 3 points. Had it been 10, you would have saw Fitz in the middle of the third. I'm very confident in that. You would have saw Fitz in the middle of the third. They only pulled him because they didn't pull him because it was only 3 points. But at some point, they have a meter that says, all right, this is the point where we don't play with fire anymore. Like, we're down by 3. We can afford to keep on giving them the shot to wheel the team to get them there. And there you have it. There you have it. Another donation said K. Tony, wide receiver from Florida, and Javonte Williams from North Carolina, running back, would be a good for a second round and or trade number 3 for 2 first rounders, Dolphins since 78. Yeah, I'm all for trading draft picks. But again, if it's Panay Sewell is there at 3, then we're going to eat that pick. It ain't a big deal. You also have to understand we can't treat that pick like it was ours. It wasn't our pick. Like we inherited that pick and we made a profit. We made a profit. We got a number 3 pick for somebody that we picked at. What number was Tunsil again? I ask y'all this all the time. 14 or something? What number was Tunsil? What was Tunsil draft? I could be wrong, but I'm thinking that we drafted him at 14 or something like that. I remember he failed because of the gas mask situation. 16, I think, 13, 11, 14, 13, 13. Lord, everybody with these mixed numbers. Okay, I got enough 13s now. I'm going to stick with it. 14, 13. See, now y'all I got me like, gosh. They say 13. Draft. Y'all say 13. No, he was the 14th overall pick. I just looked it up. Nah, I ain't gonna troll y'all. He was 13. Some of y'all like, hold on, let me go back and look. I swear he said 13. He was 13, man. Y'all ain't gotta go double check, man. You saw it right, all right? Oh, man. The donation said replace Grant with Otwell or more. Maybe that's gonna be the interesting option of who he could potentially would be replaced with. What's up, DM? I see you, homie. T, who is your favorite Dolphin wide receiver of all time? Gosh, man, you hit me with that one. All time. He wasn't even with the team long. I love Brandon Marshall, man. I used to count like, man, I hope he get 10 catches today. Like, I didn't count yards. I always caught receptions with him. Now, don't get me wrong, but the one that I liked the most was Chris Chambers because that was my era mainly. But I loved Brandon Marshall when he was in Miami, though. I was a fan of Brandon Marshall. It was just something about him. I like Brandon. What's up, bro, man? Me too. That's what's up, man. Let me see. Elijah Scott. Let me see. Can I get Elijah Scott? I'm trying, Elijah. Y'all give me a second. I'm going to read the donation. I just got to mod up the homie real quick, Elijah. All right, we good. All right, so Sith Lord said, Tua, a grown man and had tons of big moments at Bama. He needs glasses. Can't see further than 10 yards, man. You going in on this one. I don't think the man need glasses. I just think that, he has to settle in. It's just bad, man. The way things went, for him to be like, I thought the NFL would be a lot harder. And I know what he meant by it, but still, man, it was bad. It didn't add up anymore. Like, people were going to chop at the bit to call you out on that one. They were going to leap to call him out on that. He just looked young. Yes, he did. He looked nervous. Like, let me tell y'all something. People keep sending me this stat, right? Oh, TD, look at this. This proves you wrong, right? They keep sending me this thing that says Tua has the least amount of time to where he throws the ball. 2.7 seconds or something like that. Tua throws the ball in less time than Mahomes. They were naming all the good quarterbacks, right? Tua throws it in less time than all of them. They equate that with time to throw, number one. People have to understand what a true lie and a false fact is, okay? It is true. He throws the ball. He has to throw the ball quicker than everyone else. But people need to understand where they get how long a quarterback has to throw the ball. They get that off of how long, on average, they throw the ball. A lot of times you can have the equivalence of the pressure coming so much he has to get rid of it quick. But go watch the film. Sometimes he's not even under pressure and he's back there like, oh, I see here's what I saw the last few games from Tua. Down, said, hut, back to pass. Oh my gosh, I see somebody wide open. Oh, let me hurry up and get it there. Oh, he got it 5 yards. That's what I saw. Not a guy who says down, said, hut, I got a good pocket. I feel it. All right, I see a guy there. I'm about to throw it to him, but let me survey. Let me make sure I'm not missing the right opportunity. Or better yet, what is the defense telling me right now? Okay, I got quarters, and I know my guy's running up that seam, and he knows his job is to go skinny on this, whatever, right? I need to look for that shot first. So people need to understand, as a quarterback, when you're at the line of scrimmage pre-snap, you may have a hot read. I called this play, and this is typically the hot read. But you read the defense, and that tells you who should be open. Like, you got to know what defense they're in, and they may be disguising it. Yeah, they may be disguising it. But that's what quarterbacks are supposed to do. Let me give you an example. Tannehill yesterday. Did you see with 18 seconds left, them down by 5 points or whatever? 18 seconds left, and they got to start from the 25-yard line. 18 seconds left. I'm like, is Tannehill going to have another Miami miracle? Now, first play, 55-yard bomb down the field, in stride, right on the money. A.J. Brown caught, game-winning field goal, game over. Go listen to the press conference. The coach, Tannehill, and the wide receiver understood the defense. All of them said the same thing. When we came out, we had this call, and I was shocked that they were in that defense. They showed us this, and that means that I should have a guy over the top. If this guy trails underneath shallow, then you go to A.J. Brown's interview. Yeah, I saw the defense. I saw the safety. Now, if they would have switched to cover 3, we would have been screwed. But the way they stayed in cover 4, I knew if I was skinny that I had a chance to slip through. And if my quarterback saw that pre-snap, then we would get it done. Tannehill read the defense, and I understand Tua is a rookie, right? We're not talking about that. But he read the defense and said, I know this play. Hopefully my receiver knows if he gets skinny, I can deliver this. And the receiver over there thinking, look at what they're in. I know I got to run this skinny. Now, I ain't saying Tua got the receivers that can do all that either. But at the same token, you still got to be able to read stuff pre-snap. Because it'll tell you who should be open based off of the formation. So when you send that guy in motion, you already eliminate half the plays by determining, oh, they're in zone or man. That's what, ladies and gentlemen, that's 90% of the time the reason why they send somebody in motion, or sometimes they'll send them halfway and send them back. They only trying to get a gauge of whether the defense is in zone or if they're in man. It's that simple. And then that way you can determine your best option for this play pre-snap. And I feel like Tua's not doing that effectively. And number two, the first guy he sees open, he throws that ball like a hot potato. So yes, he's going to have the least amount of time where he gets rid of the ball because he's trying to get it to the first thing that he sees right away. There's quarterbacks out here that sees guys open, but they're looking for what they saw pre-snap first. And then they're like, it's not there. Now let me go back to that. That's a difference. There's the difference. Oh, well, their receivers also getting 3 yards of separation and our top 2 receivers getting 1.5. I get that. Ladies and gentlemen, trust me, I get that. But this is the NFL. You got to at least make the throw. Nobody's ever complained about the completion. I complain about not making the throw. 1.5 foot separation in the NFL still gives you an opportunity to make a play. The stat says our top 2 targets only have a 1.5 foot separation, and Mahomes' top targets has a 3 foot separation. Does 1.5 foot give you a chance to make a play? Now, if it gets batted down or the receiver drops it, that ain't on you. You at least saw that 1.5 and you tried to make a play. But don't hold the ball and look at 1.5 feet and say, nah, I ain't gonna throw it because it might get picked off. That's all I'm saying. So when you send me that, there's more to that story in my eyes. All right. Tua turned the ball over. Y'all crazy. I guess I expected Tua to play like Fitz without the picks. We had a lot of expectations of Tua, and that's the problem. It was always unfair. A lot of us really, I mean, honestly, I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all. I'm going to keep it 1,000. A lot of us really just trolling about the situation because all these delusional people pre-draft said this and that. That's what a lot of us are doing. I've been doing it at times. A lot of these people that oh, this is the guy, you don't know football, blah, 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 blah. No, you were the main culprit singing the praises pre-draft. How day one he was going to be a starter material and rookie of the year and by far look elite. That's the difference. It was all the pre-draft people that sat up here and argued with me every single day on this channel about how I don't know football if I think that Tua ain't going to be one of the best quarterbacks year one. He is a day one guy, TD, and if you can't see that, you definitely don't know football. He is going to light the league up, and he is going to do X, Y, and Z. He might even be a Pro Bowler his first year. You're going to see when he gets to camp, it's going to be night and day. It's going to be, Fitz don't even have a shot. Then we drafted him and all those same people. Now here's what's funny. He had already had the hip surgery, and this is how people was talking. And then when we drafted him, I don't know how this happened, but all of a sudden, he don't need to play his first year. Just let the man sit and learn. Just let him sit and learn. He don't need to play Where did this come from? Before we drafted him, he going to be everything in the first year, and this was after he had already had surgery and hurt himself. Then we draft him. He don't need to play right away. Let him sit all year. He need to learn. You just trying to hurt him and this and that. Whoa. So he sits. And then Fitzpatrick gets criticized so much. Tua wouldn't be doing this. He need to sit a year, but Tua will be doing X, Y, and Z. Insert Tua. And ladies and gentlemen, look me in my eyes. Ever since Tua has been inserted, those people have gone ghost on this channel. I ain't talking about the people that say I'm hating on him because of my commentary. I'm talking about the people that defended how good he was going to be. Ghost. I don't see any of those comments about the first year. You know why? Because they were wrong. They were 1,000% wrong. Wrong. And I tell y'all this all the time. When other people are wrong, they don't come back and say, hey, I was wrong. But when I'm wrong, they show up to make sure they remind me I was. That's how it works. That's why I don't worry about it. I keep doing what I'm doing. He had more bad moments than good. Maybe. I saw some good moments though, man. Like, you got to give him credit and say, like, we saw some good play at times. Like, some things were like, okay, like he ain't no scrub where he just like literally, he ain't Pat White in it. I know I was calling him that yesterday because I was mad, but he ain't Pat White in it. He has some very competent moments. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Sith Lord TD, you called it yesterday. Tua equals developmental quarterback. It's nothing but it. And let me tell y'all something. Y'all don't need to be running around here talking about, oh, TD's talking about anybody in particular. Just stop that mess. Because I see how some of y'all coming in my comment section talking about other people talking about me. I'm not worried about other people. Okay? I'm not worried about other people. I don't have nobody else's name in my mouth. If they got mine in theirs, validation. So this ain't no back and forth drama queen thing, all right? At the end of the day, I'm calling the balls and strike how it happened. We had questions. We were worried that Tua wasn't going to be X, Y, and Z. Some people disagreed and said that he was. And what did we say at the end of the day? Time will tell how he performs in his first year. His first year is now over. They were wrong. Wrong. Doesn't mean he ain't going to be great. But all these expectations of what he was going to be day one, wrong. I'm not going back and forth with nobody. They were wrong. And now people talking about me got my name in their mouth just because they feeling that they were wrong, trying to justify themselves. Don't report that stuff back to me. Please don't. I don't care. I keep y'all notice something, right? I just keep it moving over here. I keep it moving, all right? The Dolphins missed on Herbert. Can they risk not taking a QB at 3? What if the guy they miss on also balls out? That'll get a GM. Hold on, let me see. That'll get a GM. I believe you were about to say fired. That'll get a GM fired. Okay. Yeah, it would. But you know what? I was worried about that today. That's why when they were like, Chan Gailey got fired, I scratched my head. I was like, okay, I can understand it, but I don't think it was necessary. But then I was like, will Brian Flores and Chris Greer bet their career on Tua? We won't know until we see how they draft. But would they bet their career? Like, is this the path that we might be going down? I don't know yet because we still got to see what they do. But, you know, it is the type that gets you a new coach and a new GM. Because if they go in 4 years with him and he just ain't cutting it, man, that's an indictment on them. You build a great team, but you don't knock this one out of the park, and yet you didn't even have a contingency plan. That's poor management. That's poor management. Look at this guy. This guy says, "Stop using Tua name for clicks, you bum." Oh, don't worry about it. I got you, bro. I'm gonna do you a huge favor. I am going to go ahead and block you from this channel. Now you never got to worry about me using his name for clicks because you won't see it. You're welcome, by the way. See how I made your life easier? All right, Alex said, we don't need a new QB. We need an actual running attack. Where would Tannehill be without Derrick Henry? How do you think we fix the run game? Play calling, O-line, running back, or all of them? I think Tannehill would be over there as a 8-8 team without Derrick Henry, 9-7 maybe. But that's a hard question because here's why. If they don't have Derrick Henry, then they still are going to have a running back. It may not be Derrick Henry, but any competent one would still make them playoff contenders because that is a good team. Derrick Henry just takes them over the top in what I call the playoffs. Derrick Henry, Finsanity told me about this, and I was like, maybe, but she proved it this year. She was right. Derrick Henry is always an end of the season bruiser. Early in the season, Derrick Henry looked like trash. That's a fact. Go look it up. Go look at the stats. Derrick Henry looked like trash. Tannehill averaged 4 touchdowns a game. He was carrying the team. Insert week 10. Now Derrick Henry's starting to get his 200 yards per game. He's starting to just prey on defenses, beat them up. And they using Tannehill less because they don't have to. Go look it up. So I'm always going to say he's a good weapon to have in the playoffs. Derrick Henry. Late season bruiser, playoff guy. They lost more games in the end of the season than they did early in the season. They were one of the best teams in the NFL in the first 8 games. I believe they were like 6-2 or something like that. And I think they ended it like 5-3 or something like that. I don't know. But yes. But yeah, it doesn't have to be a Derrick Henry. It just have to be a good back that's producing. But you also got to give credit to that O-line. Tennessee's run O-line is still superior like it was last year. Their pass O-line just isn't as good. They lost both of their all-pros. And then on top of it, they still run well, but they do not pass protect very well at all. That's why I don't understand why enough teams don't continue to send enough pressure on Tannehill to try to neutralize some of that stuff. Replace Grant with Otwell and Matt Moore. Oh, I thought I read that already. One moment. I think it was another donation. I don't want to miss it. Maybe I already did. That sucks. I'm sorry if you donated and I missed it. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. I'm trying to tell you that, Miles. Oh, I feel bad. Oh, man, I missed that one too. I feel bad for the Dolphins. Y'all deserve to be in the playoffs. Don't feel bad for us. We had already achieved. We already overachieved. TD, he ran for 2,000 yards. Henry played well all year. Do you say that, Miles, because he ran for 2,000 yards? That's like when Jay Ajayi put up that like 1,500, but half of it came in like the last 3 games. Are you sure, Miles? Are you saying that because of the 2,000 yards? I'm just curious. Remember, he needed 220 or something yesterday to hit 2,000, and he got 220 something. I don't know, man. Give me a second. Watch this. Yards per attempt early in the season. Game 1, 3.74. Game 2, 3.36. Game 3, 4.58. Game 4, 3 yards per carry. Game 6, he went off. It was like 9.6 yards per carry. He had 212 yards. But you get my drift? The first 4 games, averaging roughly 3 yards a carry, and then all of a sudden 9.64. Then he went back to 3.75. But let's go to the end of the season. Last game, 7.3. Next one, 6.1. Next one, 8.2. Next one, 6.6. You see what I mean? Like literally averaging almost 3 yards per carry more the second half at the end of the season. Early in the season, the man averaging like 3.5 yards a carry, and at the end of the season, he averaging about 6 to 7. Total difference. Total difference, man. Beast, nonetheless. He's a beast regardless. A beast. He is a beast, no question about it. But he's definitely late season. He's definitely late season, man. He had 250 yards yesterday. Oh. He had 147 before that. He had 215 before that. 178 before. Oh my gosh. Early in the season, 116, 84, 119, 57, 75, 68, 212. I mean, that was good. But you see what I mean? Early in the season, he wasn't doing the same thing. He had a great season overall, but Derrick Henry does this every year at the end of the season. He bruises the heck out of you, man, and plowing you down. Plowing you down. Anywho, Sewell, number 3, Najee Harris at number 18. I ain't opposed to that. I would be down for that. But I think we can address O-line and free agency and second and third round. Yeah, I'm fine with that too, as long as we still get Sewell at number 3. Get the trolls out of here, TD. Who trolling, man? Sewell is the most dominant college O-lineman of the decade. And, he can come into the league and not pan out. I don't know. But listen, again, you still got to take that opportunity. It ain't like he coming off a major hip surgery. I'm just saying. This is real. Sewell is can't miss. I agree. Rashid is trolling, TD. Rashid, I don't know what Rashid is talking about. She said Carson Wentz to the Dolphins. Listen, y'all, that ain't trolling. You never know. I mean, you might look up and be like, oh my gosh, they got Carson Wentz. Like, honestly, do y'all think Carson Wentz is that bad? You think Fitz and Carson Wentz can't be mentioned in the same class? Y'all don't like Carson Wentz because of what's happening in with his team now? There was a time where Carson Wentz played some really good football. There was a time he played some really good football. And sometimes you move on or whatever. Come on, man. It might just be the situation he in. The team. You'd be surprised. It's the exact guy like a Carson Wentz that could revive his career in Miami. You never know what the Miami Dolphins are thinking, y'all. You never know. They could very well make a trade and take him on. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Bring him in to compete with Tua. You'd be surprised. Now people will really be mad then. Oh, they'd really be mad because it's still Tua's job to lose. Get that straight. But you might have a guy who has the potential to play even better than Fitz. That's what a lot of people will get nervous about. That's what they get nervous about. Too much money. No. Because if you trade for him, sometimes you can work out a deal with the team where they can pick up some of that salary. Remember, a lot of that guaranteed money might not still be on the books. I got to look at that real quick. I got to look at that. Carson Wentz contract. I got to look at that real quick. See what that situation is. Got it right here. Now give me a second. All right. Let's see what we talking about. As a matter of fact, I'll just put it on the screen. Share screen. There you have it. Carson Wentz contract. So right now, 2021, yeah, he's still costing money. He still got a lot of dead cap. He's gonna cost you $35 million. I ain't with it. I'm straight. I wouldn't do it. 2022, he still got your dead cap of $24 million. So it just depends on. It depends on if it was a trade, how much of that responsibility the current team would take on. They've already came out and said they're not looking to trade Wentz. They're not having those discussions right now. Also, they would really have to take on a lot of his contract for us to actually. That's what we did with Tannehill. Y'all know we paid some of that contract, right? They virtually got Tannehill for free. Matter of fact, we paid for them to take him. That's the insulting part about it, man. That's actually what really bothers me about that Tannehill situation. We paid the team to take him. We gave him a draft pick to take him on. Now this man done led his team to the playoffs twice. And now he has a division championship on his resume. Y'all know that? Ryan Tannehill has a division championship on his resume. AFC championship appearance. 2 for 2 in the playoffs with them. Somebody say don't say lead. Co-led. How about that? If that helps. TD, we never had a Derrick Henry. I agree. But wasn't I crying for it? Wasn't I crying for O-line? Wasn't I crying for the right pieces around them? I've always cried for it. It wasn't even so much the pieces for me. It was just the O-line. I cried for it forever. It's unfortunate, though. It was a timing thing for Tannehill because when we finally got the O-line, he got hurt. When we finally got the O-line, he got hurt. He got hurt, y'all. And then when he finally came back, it was like re-aggravated. So it was really like a 2-year stint. And that's when we had the O-line. That's when we actually had the O-line. He went 9-3, if I'm not mistaken, something like that with the O-line, the good O-line. Then he got hurt, and he was out the rest of that season. And then in training camp or some freak accident, nobody even touched him. It hurt again, out again. So we kind of missed out on him for the 2 years, a year and a half. We had a good O-line. In that first year, we thought we were going. We thought we were going to do something real. Honestly, he had already put the work in to get us to the playoffs. Then Pittsburgh beat us bad with the backup. So we'll see. Anyway, man, it's 1 a.m. This TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight. Thank y'all for tuning in and hanging out. Love y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. Somebody said go to bed, TD. This season is toast. Nah, we good, man. We talk Dolphin football year round. Plus the playoffs coming. I cover all of that as well. So stay tuned. I'll see y'all soon. Peace. Love y'all.